what's up guys? It's Cypher and I'm making another video talking about keybind changes and also a new mouse and a new keyboard that I'm trying out. And I basically want to update you guys on why I am changing my keybinds again. Now this isn't going to be a huge shift like I did before. My previous keybinds, when I changed them, I pretty much changed almost everything. This is just a few changes that I made to better optimize my gameplay. I'm always looking for different ways to get better. I don't want to be complacent with myself. So right now we have a few new things. We have a new mouse, new keyboard, and new keybinds. And I'm going to explain why I'm going about that. And if you notice, the stream looks a little bit different. We have new alerts and stuff, but that's just cosmetic. Let's just jump right into it. I made a video not too long ago about my keybinds and why I changed them. You guys should watch that video if you want to see like the core function of the keybinds that I currently have. But I made some changes right now that I want to go over to update you guys on the previous ones. So the first thing is I have a new mouse, right? I'm using a wireless mouse. Some people are a little skeptical about wireless mouse because, you know, they think there's input delay. There's always going to be input delay with wireless mouse, but it's not noticeable enough to where it's affecting my performance. And if anything, not having the wire, you know, drag on my desk, even with a mouse bungee, I never was a really big fan of the wire. So I always felt like I performed better with wireless, and that's why I went with the Logitech G Pro wireless. I'm not sponsored by Logitech. I've liked their product, so that's why I'm using it. I also am using a Logitech G Pro RGB keyboard. It's a TKL version. So TKL, I actually didn't even know what this was until recently because I'm a scrub, but TKL means 10 keys less. This keyboard does not have a number pad. So you'll notice it's a lot smaller than my previous keyboard. I used the Corsair before this. It's a lot smaller, and the reason why I wanted a smaller keyboard, the buttons are still the same size, but it's shorter. It doesn't have the number pad part of the keyboard. The reason why I wanted a smaller keyboard is because I wanted more space on my mouse pad for my mouse to move around. I play on a very low sensitivity, so I'm constantly dragging my mouse, and I have to make big swiping motions. And you know that's what you have to do when you play on a low sense. So having a smaller keyboard gives you a little bit more space to work with. I actually also ordered a new mouse pad. It's not here yet, but I ordered like a really big XXL mouse pad. It's going to cover pretty much my entire desk. And that's just to give me more freedom when I'm moving my mouse around, especially on a low sense. That's going to be necessary. So that covers the keyboard and mouse. Again, at the end of the day, keyboard and mouse is your personal preference. I don't want to, like, I'm not sponsored by Logitech, so it's not like I'm trying to promote this product for you guys to buy. Whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't like wireless, go wired. If you don't like wired, go wireless. Like, use what you want, and you'll find something that fits your needs. Not every mouse is going to work for everybody. People have different, you know, preferences, sensitivity, hand size, whatever. Another thing I did with, speaking of sensitivity, another thing I did is I bumped up my sense just a little bit. My X used to be 0.09. My Y was 0.06. Some people like to have their X and Y 1 and 1. I always played it like this, so I don't want to change that because that might be a little bit too much for me. But I just bumped it up by 1 point. 0.1 on the X, 0.07 on the Y. Everything else is the same. 0.75 targeting, 0.65 scope. So there's that. Now let's talk about keybinds. Now this new mouse does not have the third button on the side like the G502 does. It only has 2 buttons on the side. And it actually does have 2 buttons on the other side, but I'm not really going to use those. That's more like if you're left-handed. But here's the thing. I used the third button before for my roof piece. And with the recent changes, now that you can have always sprint on, I don't have the need to press shift to sprint. So what I did is I moved that button since I lost it. Now roofs are on left shift, and I have not even practiced with this today. So it's going to take me a couple days to like catch up to speed and then finally master it. But left shift for the roof. Another thing I did that I noticed that I was lacking in is I felt like my editing speed was falling behind. There's some people who can edit really fast and efficiently, and even though I've always considered myself a good editor, in terms of speed, I wasn't the fastest at editing. So what I did was I used to have F for pickup, but now I changed picking things up and opening doors. I changed that to V because I wasn't using V, and now editing for me is F. So I use F to edit. It's one step closer from G. I don't have to extend my finger as much, and I know that might seem like a minor difference, but in competitive play at like the top level, that is going to make a big difference for you. So I recommend editing being on a button that is very, very easy to access because it's a big part of high-level gameplay. So that's what I changed with the editing. I'm trying to figure out if I changed anything else. Oh yes, so reloading is still on my mouse wheel. Now I just have to press down the mouse wheel. On the G502, you can actually just like, the mouse wheel was, you could program it 3 different ways. Like you can push it to the left, push it to the right, push it down. The Logitech G Pro Wireless does not have that option. It's just press down to reload. Basically, that's what it comes down to. And it's not too difficult, and it's not like a hard press either. So I'm gonna be practicing with these new keybinds, and hopefully it will improve my gameplay. That's kind of the whole point of this. Also practicing with this new mouse and keyboard. So I'm making this video just to let you guys know what's going on, update you guys on what I've been doing, and hopefully inspire some of you guys to look at your own keybinds and your own equipment and see if you need any changes or improvements to what you have going on. At the end of the day, it's the player who makes the plays, but you have to have the right tools that fit your needs. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to mention one more thing for the video. There's 2 other changes I made to my keybinds. Before today, I used to actually press I to open my inventory. I would reach over with my thumb and press I, or reach over with my index finger and press I. And that's not really convenient to reach over like that. I'm not a big fan of doing that. So what I did is I actually put inventory on 3. And inventory is, I put it on 4. And inventory is not something that's very important. But it's definitely something you want to be able to pull out really quickly to maneuver your inventory and drop weapons or whatever the case may be. You don't want it to be something that's far away, like pressing I. So that's one thing that I changed with this patch, with this update. Not with the update, just update on my keybinds. That's one thing that I changed. And another thing that I changed was I also put auto run. I put auto run on. I just gotta go with this. On the 1 button, auto run is very easy for me to press now. The reason why I put auto run on a button that's very easy to reach is because of the fact that there's a rift right here. What I can do with this auto run is you can actually press. This is probably common knowledge for a lot of people, but I didn't used to use this strategy, and now that I put my inventory on 4 and my auto run on 1, you can turn on auto run and then open your inventory, so you have your inventory up while you're still running. So if you don't have auto run placed, you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to run while you do that. And if you're wondering, you can put your inventory wherever. You can put it on left alt. You can like just somewhere that's reachable. I don't use 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I don't use those keybinds, so it's not really as much of an issue for me to put it on 1 and 4. But having it there is pretty handy, and I'll show you why. I'm gonna show it right now, real quick, while I run here. So you want to have your always sprint button on. I don't think you should play without having always sprint on. Oh, there's someone right next to me. Let me try to kill this guy real quick first. Oh, he's trying to kill me. There we go. Just gonna drink this and go. All right. So here's how it works. You start running, and then you enable auto sprint, and then you just pull up your inventory, and then you can start managing your stuff around while you're running. And I know this is probably, like I said, this is probably common knowledge to a lot of people, but I knew about it, but I never really cared enough for it. But it's definitely something I'm gonna start using more now. So I hope you guys take that into account and think about it. Bam! Get out my face, boy!
You're so annoying.